CT side train. Great start there. Great pistol round. And 1-0.
Obviously, the CT side picking up a pistol is always a great feeling. If you can get that momentum, if you can ensure that you don't lose guns, then you're starting on ops early on as well. You know, you keep these players alive, then you're good to rock and roll. But Gambit, all right, throwing a spanner into the works. The triple scout setup T side.
I don't like.
I kind of like this double scout peek on Ivy side though. If they both hit their shot, then that'd be great. But Bona's actually gonna get the first kill.
I hate that. I hate that saying right there. If you hit your shot, it's great.
Yeah, yeah, no.
I hate that saying. I like cementing it, right? And more of a what can we do to not necessarily make it about hitting the shot. We'll pull the CTs into our crosshairs to make it easier for us to, you know, hit that shot, let's say, or maybe even get them in the back. So, yeah. Oh, but Unez hitting his shot there is Hobbit going down towards that upper.
5 scouts in play in the second round. All the kills so far, until now, had gone to the CT side. Finally, Adrian is able to get a response, but he's shot and the bomb's dropped. It's on Mo, who gets one of his own. But man, scouts making an appearance here in this round. That's
How many scout kills was that?
At least 5. Bona and Onez each had 2. I think 2 on Gambit, so 6. 6 scout kills, Evan.
Okay. Nonetheless, though, the full eco from Gambit coming in here, and we do see an ump on the back of Ariel, so I'd like to see him get aggressive, maybe towards that ladder, towards that T-con. But Gambit is heading towards inner, so we'll be up to Unez here, who's sitting on a scout right now.
Curiously, the T's will just go charging upper, and the M4 at a distance is making this look easy. Tapping, firing away, and cleaning up the round. This has been a solid start from Superjymy thus far. The second round, of course, they take 2 casualties, and in the third, not a single. So the money's there, the economy's building. Onez could buy the op, but seeing as he's had success on the scout, I don't blame him for holding on to this.
Not at all. And he's going to aggress towards the upper as well to start the round off. So he's looking for a little bit of early info. There's no op on the side of Gambit. And that's because they ended up forcing up that second round with those 3 scouts. Look at this aggression by Bona now towards the Ivy.
Ooh. He's almost getting punished for it. Sits on a smidgen of health. Tries to retreat. Oh, sees. Firing shots at his back, he will get himself into safety. So he lost the health on the push, but Ariel still finds the pick. 5v4. And Hobbit wants to trade, but the Molotov will deny his chance as bomb does come towards B.
Unez and Ariel, they're still doing all right in terms of nades here. They have 3 flashes between them and an AG. I hate to say it now, as Bona gets that pick towards Ivy onto C's, those 3 people taking inner. Against that scout, oof, this is going to be rough on them.
What's tough, I think, for Gambit as well is that they just played Spirit on Cobblestone, a map that Spirit play well. And now they're playing Superjymy on Train, which is, I'd say, one of their best maps. So they're not definitely getting huge advantages in terms of map pools, right? This kind of even ground is working out for their opponents, not them. Despite the plant, despite 1 kill, Evan, despite damage as well, no one can stop Onez. We said that bringing the scout into the round was a viable choice, and he sure as hell makes it work. 3 frags for him, 4 rounds for Superjymy, and money in their banks.
Sitting at 8-0, Unez is. Jesus. 9.2k. He's finally going to drop that scout, but it's an upgrade in regards to what he drops it for. He's going to have an AK now, and it gets even deadlier towards that inside.
1 Deagle on Adren. 4 AKs. Fast flank, straight down from ladder. Seized and Hobbit, sure enough, can get 2, but Superjymy's still able to trade. The Deagle does pay off. Hobbit tries to plant, he's lit. Spam does not connect. The frag grenade sure does. Leaving it all on Onez. AK in hand, smoke blocks off the ladder. Trajectory of the grenade could tell him there's a player towards train, and you see him looking for it.
He knows we're both players up.
Tapping it the first time will force the peek, surely from someone. Yet to find Mo. Tapped up and found. It is Gambit with a round. 4-1.
He thought Mo was still in that hell where Mo initially got that kill. Mo made the wise choice getting out of there towards the Olaf back to blue, and he's going to be able to pick up an easy kill on the back of Unes to give Gambit their first round, and a nice little quick ladder hit where you see them all fly out, hug that right side of the ladder wall, and just basically take out those bomb train players, leaving the Ivy guys to essentially, you know, twiddle their thumbs as there's nobody left on their screen to shoot at. A little outside fake to an inner. I think we're going to see a double fake here, actually.
To get this peek from upper eventually on Gambit. You can see the CTs moving around this B site, so they're actually finding some footing, and a great quick headshot from Adrian. Means that the rest of the Ts will trickle in. They think they've got the footing. They think they've got the positioning up front, and they sure enough do. The entirety of the B site belongs to Gambit. Now it looks like Jimmy might actually save.
Yeah, is Arvid able to pick up this frag? No, he's not. C's checking his 6. And that's going to be Arvid going down to the last 3 members of Superjymy. Well, 2 towards Ivy, 1 in ladder, and Gambit, second round, Connor. We can take the time now as we sit on this save. Ooh, maybe not, as Zori's going to see some action, as he's going to take out Dosia.
Seized as well, trying to get himself a kill, but there's double ops back here, so they have to be cautious. Whoa, there's one through smoke, fires back towards
no. Oh,
they're gone. And Ariel's still alive here. So one single M4 move forward. We talked about the cash that Superjymy have the chance to grab, but it's a bit of a recession here in the 7th round. He'll drop some pistols around.
Yeah.
They won't have much to work with, but looks like Gambit might find another here. T-side starting to come into fruition.
Slowly but surely. Again, like I said on the last map, Gambit seems like a momentum-based team. When they finally start to pick it up, they get rolling, and it's hard to stop them. However, if you get off to a very early lead, you're able to put a halt to anything Gambit's trying. I mean, your CT side's looking good. Nonetheless, though, Gambit towards that Ivy, and they're going to make their way out right now.
They are starting to flood into the bomb site. Pistols coming back down from ladder, but Ariel and Ona's dropped. So now they're all stuck in the slaughterhouse that should be, but it doesn't seem to be that way just yet. Arvid playing with the ladder, trying to bait another peek, but he knows better. He will fade away as Bona gets another. That's 2 guns. The fruits of their labor, Evan, will be a couple rifles in the next if they can hang on.
Gambit, though, making their way back into this game. Superjymy 4-4-0 to begin the half, but nonetheless, Gambit, slow start coming up in the end now, as we're going to see them get their 3rd round. A little bit of contact being made.
The buy comes up around it. So sure enough, you keep enough players alive, and you will be able to justify your buy. Gambit looking for the tie here in the 8th round, but it's going to be the op on Mo that I want to watch this time around. Want to see if he can find Zori.
Okay.
Zori, however, positioning towards Z, and Mo's going to be using a support nade early, so I think the op of Mo will only find impact later in the round if he gets anything done at all. Looks like the rifles might look to push past into the A site, but it's a solid frontline defense from the CTs, and a great Molotov pushes Ariel back. Ooh. Ariel's still able to take down Doja, but caught out in the open, straight back from Hobbit, 4 versus 3. Superjymy trying to rotate back into A, and look at this position from Bona.
Bomb has been planted.
He will just lock this down for now. Trying to figure out the after plant positioning of Gambit. There's 4 players alive, so surely they have to be somewhere near.
That time.
And he gives it up. He looks away, robbed of the chance to kill. Instead, it's his teammates that'll run for the hills. They want to save. Zori looked like he did. That chance is taken away from him. Onez is all that's left. And Gambit are back in this, Evan. So I would say that Gambit are starting to field together this T side, and they're starting to hit shots as well. Something that missed from the algorithm of their cobblestone play last map.
Now, the money on Superjymy side. We could see a light buy. Bona, Arvid, they both have money to buy up. We could see a drop even go down. But I do think they are going to opt for the save here. Yeah, there it is. The light buy, the CZ's coming onto the play. And that's just as deadly as far as I'm concerned. However, the way Gambit's been playing right now, very structured, very cohesive. And as a unit going onto this T-side train, I feel as though we might not see too much action out of those CZs. And there goes the first one, as Arvid's going to get dropped by Mo.
A little bit of a stutter as they try to get down the ladder. Onez is positioned, but he's also fully flashed. Next man up is down. Hobbit dropping bodies. Ariel responding with what he can, but on the CZ, 5 shots in the clip, only dealing damage, nearly getting kills. And this is still clutchable. Bona! Oh, Bona! Up close, gets one. Evan, he had the chance. But the stars didn't align. It's Gambit now on the T side, standing in the lead.
As far as I'm concerned, Bona in that situation, he had to make the play. There was not much else he could do in regards to making something happen. As soon as that bomb goes down, they're able to play the post plant. So the best chance for him was, hey, let's make a play through the smoke. Maybe I can catch 1 or 2 people off here and reset it into a 1v1. Not able to happen, though, in Gambit. Their first lead of the game coming in as we go into the 10th round here.
First time we've seen the double op setup, though, from the CTs. So 5 rounds in a row is one thing. Gambit getting enough points to be competent in the half, with enough money to continue to blast these rounds onto the board.
Look at this aggression towards the middle here. That's a long rotation in from Superjymy as Gambit gets ready towards that inner bomb site.
Yeah, Superjymy really wanted some contact on A. It'll come down to whether or not they can rotate fast enough, or if Onez creates enough of an opportunity here with a couple of kills to justify the retake. This is one of those situations where they might just go for the save call early on, but it's going to come down to the first few picks, and Adrian is able to get the first. Op at a distance, nicely done by Mo, finds the tight angle. Bomb should plant itself, no need to overextend. And C's now looking to get himself amongst the CT side, executes 2, easy frags. Arvid is gone.
Yeah, towards that hell area. And once again, Gambit, great job. Like I said, they're playing a lot more like a unit this game. You saw that towards the lower as they entered. There was a counter smoke and everything from the side of Ariel. However, Gambit, they took their time, they reflashed, they even Molotoved and used the Molotov to their advantage to peek onto that lower site. Great little effort from Gambit there. The individual talent showing as they're going 6-4 in the tac pods coming in from Superjymy.
Yeah, I think that Superjymy is also not on the same caliber of Spirit. Obviously, when we watched SDY go off in the first 5 rounds, like that to me was almost like an indicator of things to come. You know that if the one of the most inexperienced players in the server is top fragging for his lineup, that surely someone else on his team is going to step up as well. And then that's when we watch Dima also fill the fragging shoes, right? So Superjymy had some glimmers of hope here at the start of the CT side. We watched them win pistol, which always helps. They had nice conversion points. Definitely, convincing start. But Gambit seemed to be hitting their groove. And it's Gambit on train, right? There was a time where Gambit were on this massive tear of winning train games on LAN. I think it was something like 10-0. You could have argued that there was an instance of Gambit, like a certain lineup back with Zeus, that was the best train team in the world at some point. It was a key piece to their BO3 wins, and it was one of their most common map picks. So this is pretty comfortable for them. I'd say we watched them fade away from Cobblestone, which is a map that they used to play very well as well, but definitely started getting closer towards Train as Cobblestone fell off, and now it seems like this is still something that reigns true. Cobble struggles, Train secured. It's a map they're comfortable on, and it's a map that they're clearly making the most of here on the T side.
With this eco round coming up from Superjymy, Gambit gonna make the most of this as well. Most likely gonna hit 7 rounds. Their economy's looking good going into this late first half. And I'd like to say the driver's seat is all theirs as they head towards that inner bomb site and nothing's stopping them.
Ariel could have, maybe, if he had a gun, but being on a sidearm, best of luck. Stripped away, right away. Leaves the rest of the CTs to try and trickle forward, but Arvid smoked off, has to emerge into the lying weights of C's. And again, this is just Gambit putting on a show at this point. I'm as convinced by this T side from Gambit as I was from Spirit on Cobble.
Still a very early half here though, Con. Dren, is he able to take down Bona? He is. It's all left on to Zori. Can he find a gun? Not able to, as Hobbit takes him down, and there's that 7th round I was talking about.
I mean, you're right in the sense that I wouldn't say it's early, but still early enough for Superjymy to finish with a lead, right? Theoretically,
100.
They could do that. But we also have not seen them in the last 7 rounds take it closer than a 2 versus 1 situation. Never more than 3 frags in the entirety of these rounds since they've started letting Gambit win. So, score is no longer as close as it was, and neither is the nature of the rounds. But double op setup once more, and Zori dodges a bullet by being only on 18 health. But never mind, he dodges bullets, not grenades. That grenade came flying from upper box halls through the gap and blew up a player in the bomb site.
Nice. You ever
That's
play
sick.
Gunbound? It's a game about, this is literally what happened there, as Ariel now in a 1 versus 4 con. Gambit simply just picking apart the CT opponents this round. We saw it towards the inner with that initial pick, and then we saw it with Mo towards the middle in his op. No trades going down, and what, like you said, the last few rounds, the last 7 rounds have been all Gambit, and now an 8th round to follow suit. 8-4 is our scoreline. Superjymy since that first initial gun round. I mean, haven't been looking too alive here, Connor.
Little tidbits of utility coupled with the Kevlar CZs. Boost inside of T-Con, and Bona just walks into his death. Man, Gambit, again, clinical execution in these most previous rounds. Just seems like they have a game plan every single round, and maybe that's something that was a bit of a hindrance on Cobblestone, right? It was that they had to start on the CT side, and it seemed like Spirit were just a step above and beyond. But now that it's in the control of Gambit, now that they set the pace, they get to execute, they're showing us why they are still one of the better teams in the league. Superjymy just can't play pound for pound.
Really liking the effort Gambit's putting towards that inner, but look at Arvid right now. He might actually catch this bomb. Oof, no, bomb's gonna make it down because Arvid has to walk for the flank, and there it is. Bomb's gonna get planted. May still get a kill here.
Arvid cleans up Mo. Ariel with the flank. It's gonna be Z control, and Arvid could just jump on this bomb. Unfortunately, it's gonna get peeked, of course, from between the lanes, but Doja's got a grenade that goes over instead. The flash not good. And the defuse is. Superjymy have found themselves a 5th.
Yeah, essentially Arvid with that flank. As soon as he gets into that position, it became very scary for Gambit. Well, not because he's right there on the bomb, but because of the gun he has. He has an op. They don't have nades to re-peek into that. All Arvid had to do there was just hold, wait for any aggressing terrorists, and that's exactly what he does. Takes a little bit of time, realizes none of them are going to peek. Okay, I'll make them peek by tapping the bomb. As soon as he taps the bomb, he's just able to hold down his lane. Easy off kill for him, and Superjymy, much needed round. As there are 2 rounds left, Connor, and can they get these final 2 to make it an 8-7 scoreline?
I'm sure it would at least bolster their confidence going into the second half, knowing that they didn't let all these rounds slide, other than the start of the first 15. But yet again, the flashbangs and utility from Gambit are very good at clearing players off of the E-box, getting them out from the ladder room. I feel like Superjymy have had no control of that forward A bomb site.
as this round develops. I was actually going to make a note of the way Gambit's clearing ladder, and we'll point it out next round as Zori starts to kill off onto Mo here. That's huge. Look where the bomb is now sitting.
Hobbit's going to get boosted inside the ladder room, looking for an angle. A smidgen of a target is all he would need. Aerial, as the smoke begins to fade, looks to reposition. This is still Gambit just making up some late round calls. Sees has locked down Ivy this entire time. Bona has not pushed forward to clear it, but has been jiggle peeking the corner. Of course, at any given moment, Gambit could go for the A site split. Also double back into B.
Time winding down here. We see the inner lurk making his presence now in Hobbit, but he's most likely going to get caught as Unez playing on the front of the smoke here. But look how many rotators it drew as Gambit heading towards that outside bomb site.
C is able to answer on Ivy. Distracts Aerial a little bit longer. Aerial fading off, gets himself another kill. Headshot is good. Doja is down. Hobbit has planted. Nearly gets the man behind, but nope, it's Superjymy yet again. 6 to 8. They've got themselves another. Now, what is it about that ladder control, Evan, from Gambit that you wanted to talk about?
So they're doing the double drop thing, which is pretty standard, right? We see most teams doing it, but the way they're doing it is they're actually countering the initial aggressive ladder by mollying close, setting up for the drop, and in the last second of that molly, they're dropping into the ladder, which doesn't allow a CT. PHR, for instance, from AGO, loves aggressing under that ladder and just looking for that double boost. Well, that stops that aggressive CT play, allows them to double boost, and now they can drop into that ladder towards the end of the molly. We'll most likely see it here again, as well from Gambit.
Punching on Ivy is successful. Bona looking for another. Seized, however, with utility of his own, has convinced him to fall back, and he grabs that off now. Still a massive favoring of the A site from Superjymy, but with picks going their way at B, no problem. Doja's down again.
Yeah, now they can just anchor up, play this round very slowly. Nothing really needs to happen out of the Superjymy side. Nobody needs to aggress. Let's take the one-on-one angles. Even the one-and-done spots will turn this into, you know, a 1v3 scenario. So, as far as I'm concerned, Superjymy in a great position right now.
Just a matter of patience. Seized, of course, is boosted right now in the upper box hall, so he's hoping that he'd get a pick on the back of B site, but that's not the case.
Is lurk towards the outside. Adren going to be able to pick up the kill onto Arvid.
Throwing the bomb back as well. We see Hobbit just floating around the ladder. Movement from Superjymy over towards A with another kill from Zori. That might convince them. You can see Onez just hesitating here as there's 20 seconds left. He wants to see that smoke fade. He wants confirmation, but he hears the player cross. Hobbit, none the wiser.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's planting open, but Onez doesn't go that right side.
Oh, my God.
Hobbit's just going to chill in the back of sight. This is buying time for Adren now to lurk with 7 HP. And the bomb is not planted in cover, so Adren could maybe still stop this, but it's going to be damn near impossible.
That was insane.
Yeah, they're waiting for it. There you have it. He thinks he's a step ahead, but it's really a step behind. Gambit 8-7 at the end of the first half. Nice little comeback from Superjymy to secure 3 rounds at the end of those 15.
That was... Oh, man, that last round there. So the thing that got me started on that, right? So you saw Unez behind the pop dog. Essentially, what I expected him to do is, okay, he's going to jiggle the right side, make sure nobody's pushing down his pop dog lane, just to secure that, obviously, and allow his teammates to rotate in. He's also going to check his left side to make sure nobody pushed around oil, and maybe he's going to look and give it a jiggle, just to see if he can get an easy kill towards that, you know, initial bomb site area. But instead he chose to go on that right side, and that's where it got scary. Imagine if Hobbit had decided instead of going to pop dog, well, I'm going to wrap around now. I'm going to give up that lane, and I'm going to meet up with my teammate in spawn. So that's what I thought was going to happen, but luckily the rotations from Superjymy allowed that CT side to go their way once again.
So now Gambit on the defense. The side they struggled with on Cobblestone versus Spirit. And already Superjymy trying to get some presence over on B. We do see Doja in the bottom of the ladder room. And he's thinking about going for the flank. We're already watching Gambit shift over as well. So they have a complete read as to what's coming their way. It's a matter of hitting these shots. And off of the flashbang, Superjymy start to come downwards, pushing up Adrian. He has to fall off the angle. 3 quick kills. And the terrorist side are off to a fantastic start. Now the flank is instantly deleted. Doja's dead. Hobbit left and gushed yet again. Superjymy hitting shots. Evan, what a pistol.
Another fast pistol. Superjymy able to pick up both pistols in this game here. So that's 3 rounds on each side that they've gotten. 6 rounds in total, just from pistol rounds, given that they win these following 2. Hate to say it, but Gambit, all gun rounds, all action here. Superjymy not looking too good when it comes to actually hanging with Gambit, like you said earlier.
Scout for Moe's trying to find a kill in T-Con. Superjymy gonna start pushing up, but they've lost T-Con control. This is a situation. If they just try to over-aggress, it's possible they die, but they've gotten 2 more kills, so starting to be back into their control for now. Bona has to worry about the flank. You do see C's waiting for it, but the further he waits, the longer Superjymy will just continue to push forward. And yeah, they got it.
Very, very clean round. Very fast round out of Superjymy, keeping 4 people alive as well. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, going into this round, keep that ump out. Let it head maybe towards inner, towards Ivy, maybe even out mid. But as far as I'm concerned, that's going to be able to farm. Ariel's going to be looking to make a lot of money going into this round here, Connor.
Straight towards that B site, and Gambit nowhere to be found.
Now, was there ever a statement release in regards to as why Fitch had stepped down?
No, I don't believe so. I remember that there was an announcement first from Gambit saying that Seized would be standing in for all the Mountain Dew League games, so Fitch would still be playing with the roster for tournaments and other qualifiers. But then, you know, a couple weeks later, all of a sudden it was that, you know, Seized was fully on the team, and Fitch is now gone. So I don't remember as to why the reasoning, whether it was a benching or a step down or just a complete and total boot. But I think it's actually quite curious to see Seized walk into this lineup, right? Like, there was a time way back in the day before Simple joined Navi where statistically Seized was the best player on that team. That was a long time ago. And we've kind of seen him fade away, right? When he took the in-game leadership role, once Starix and Simple were, you know, kind of changing positions on that lineup, it affected him. And I thought that once he was no longer having to IGL, that maybe he'd make a comeback. But his performance on Flipside at the most recent major was not good whatsoever. And the struggles have continued, right? We see him replaced off Navi. You'd think with all the Kazakhstani success, Avant-Garde, for etc., like maybe they would have tried out Buster or a Demasik, something along those lines. Kicker even. But nope, they're going to give Seized another shot. He's definitely got the experience.
Well, Fitch was doing fine in my opinion. He just got there.
Again, I'd say a surprising roster move. For some. If you're a fan of Seized, if you believe that he can make the comeback, then I think this is the roster to do it on.
Oof, that pop flash scares his friend. And Ariel, ooh, he created presence in 2 spots there at the same time, and that's going to give him the opening pick towards Seized. Zori getting Dacia, and now a 5-on-3 here. I cannot pronounce his name. MCU was messaging me trying to help me. I cannot get the name. Dosia?
Pronounce it with an H. There's an H after the S.
I just say Dosia. Or the X-God himself.
Let's just call him Dacia. Little PUBG influence, right? Most played game on Steam. Esports ready.
Here it is. I mean, Adren is in a very good spot, maybe 1-2 kills, but I feel like they know, yeah. Once again, Ariel was peeking that, the Molotov now onto Adren. And we're most likely going to see a save round here. No way Gambit should be going for this.
Call it quits, boys. Walk away. Know when to quit. Oh, Hobbit nearly burns to a crisp again. He got away with 6 HP on Cobblestone, 12 HP this time.
Through the fire and the flames is going to carry on.
Yep. Mount Doom's pretty hot this time of year.
Nice. No hunting from Superjymy, and I like this from them as well. They're kind of hunting. They're just looking around as they're clearing. Bona now going into that CT is going to get popped in, but not really too aggressive on the hunt. Zori now gives away his spot, and he's going to get taken down by Mo. 11 to 8, great start. But this is the same start, Connor, that we saw on Superjymy CT side.
That's a good point. You have a good point, Evan. But you know what Gambit don't have? An AWP. Zori's got one. It's in the back line of this A-site push. Doja burning one alive right away. Mo is also successful, but Arvid and Onez just come in and trade straight back, and the CT set scrambling, have dropped the bomb. Arvid continues on, and Adrian stops him then and there. It's up to Zori to clutch. As alluded to, preluded to, the AWP in his hands from the start. Now he wants the AK.
Spots it, makes that contact, the ladder flank coming in now, and C's going to put an end to Zori's 1v2 possibilities there as Gambit on the board. And Connor, are we about to see what we saw last half, just the Gambit show from that first initial gun round win? Because if it is, that's very sad for the Superjymy side. One round shouldn't make the difference in your half, and I feel like if that's the case here on their T side, Gambit 16 to 11, is that what's about to come up? I hate to say it.
Yeah, there's one of two things. Either Gambit are about to go back on a tear like they did in the first half versus Superjymy, or Gambit are going to have a CT side just like on Cobblestone, where they get reset and they can't find any footing, and they just get destroyed through and through. So it's one of those two options, Evan. That's how I see this. Either Superjymy are going to run away with a T side, or Gambit lock it down. I'm not looking for a back and forth, even keel type matchup here. I think it's going to be momentum based, and it's going to be explosive.
I don't really like this right now. From Seized, he's the only person inside that smoke's fading, and he's still playing very aggressively here. I want to see him get out. He does get the info that someone's there, but I'd like to see him play a little bit more passive. Good nade coming in as well, going to do 50 damage to Bona.
You can see this patience kind of blankets the entirety of the map, and Mo gets the best of it. Cuts the man advantage down into the 4 versus 4. We get the smokes on the floor, and the terrorists doubling back. They're actually going to come across Adrian. The head stack, and he gets himself the first. Perfect crosshair placement as he drops the bottom of the totem pole. Sets Gambit scrambling back into the A-site. Bomb is trying to get itself closer, but they've only got 20 seconds. So these Molotovs will ensure that nobody can peek. The plant should be successful. Hobbit gets it. Finds the opening, jumps clean over. Mo as well with an op shot. Does take it down to the 1 versus 2, and Onez cleared up. It is seized to close it. Gambit continue on.
Yeah, Hobbit weaseling his way there in between the trains, slithering around, getting that bomb down. And the big thing about that was, in the middle of that, who was covering his left side peak? Mo with the op. So as soon as Hobbit takes that bomb down, you see the traitor coming in, and he would have been able to kill Hobbit in the side. Mo covering his teammates back. Great teamwork, great communication to get Gambit yet another round. 2 rounds in a row now, as we see a force buy on the Superjymy side. Or their last buy, I should say. Oh, see.
That sounded like a lot of gunfire. All the AKs fire off. Seized barely gets away with it. And this is another situation where Superjymy could just stampede and flood into the B bomb site, but Gambit are looking to get ahead of this. They're looking to proactively flank as well. Doja towards the ladder room, and the terrorists do just go charging forward. Shut down right away. R2 off, up close, denied by Bona. Hobbit responding back, and the T's cut down to just 2 players. Doja's still flanking forward. mowed down at a distance. The ump, not the gun for that situation, but the CT's already moving back in. We see Hobbit closer towards ramp, closer towards the bomb, and the Molotov on Onez could be used to deny this defuse. Hobbit doesn't have a kit, only Seas does, so he can't stand inside of that fire. And Zori gets the first. It's over. Evan, Superjymy back on the board.
Yeah, much needed round out of them as they're going to send Gambit onto that eco round, and Seas not able to recover that op. He was looking around for it, but it was nowhere to be found, and that's going to hurt them as well there, as the op would have been huge going into this will be an eco round. But I'd like to point out, we saw Seas take 6 HP of damage there, or get down to 6 HP. He ends up getting a 2K or a kill in that round, an assist, and actually helping his team rotate in. It was the connector guys that got caught off guard. So Seized, even with 6 HP, phenomenal impact in the round for Gambit.
We'll try to desperately buy back into this. Hump for Doja, scout on Mo. Another fast flash on the A site, where Arvid and Bona combine for the opening 2. Seized trying to find cover and trying to use the Molotov successfully so. But Bona's having none of it. He just charges straight up. Bonafide killer here on the A site. Can't get another though. Adrian will still best him. And the trade's eventually found. But another man's taken down, leaving Hobbit here to clutch. 1v2, tagged up, rotating back, jumping across. He's desperate.
Okay. You did a little bit of damage to Zori here. If you can get another shot off, oh. Fortunately not. Great shot from Zori, puts an end to Hobbit's little 1v2 scenario. But Gambit forced up into that round, Connor. Here comes an eco round out of Gambit now, and we're going to see Superjymy hit that 14th round now. Gambit will be able to buy up. I don't think we'll see an op on the field, however, and no op on the field going into this late game. That's where it gets scary. They're going to be missing those easy picks that we both know Mo is very capable of taking advantage of.
Superjymy haven't really emphasized Ivy much in this T side either, so curious to see them trying to switch things up here now. But Seized has found a little bit of an opportunity here to start his flank. Aerial denies it.
I like this out of Superjymy. Not overextending, everybody's just holding, looking for any aggression from the CTs. And now going towards that 1 minute mark, we'll see that, you know, presence start being made, map controls start being pushed on, and here it comes.
I mean, the one thing Gambit have going for them is they are stacked up on the bomb site. Obviously, they have such little chance here, but
I wouldn't necessarily call this stacked up on the bomb site. They're really counting on the E-box bait here, essentially.
This Ivy controls.
There you go, get spot.
Yep. Starting to fall apart at the seams. The CT side begins to die. Zori and Ariel with 2. Make it 3. Where's the last? Adrian down for the count. Superjymy on 14. Gambit down by 4. Whew, it's getting close. But it looks like we might have ourselves another upset.
And as far as money's concerned, Superjymy, they've earned themselves another bye for those last 3 rounds that they've been winning here. Gambit, however, they need to win this round as well as keep 4 people alive, Connor. They need to build their economy. This is going to get very scary very quick if they're losing people. And a fast outside from Superjymy.
Yeah, they just mow themselves straight down Olaf, trying to get past the M4, but Mo is above, and he gets taken down. Hobbit traded as well. Hobbit still inside the smoke, is done for. And Seized needs to be the man to clutch the round. 1 versus 3. He's going to play the long con, wrapping through T-spawn, and trying to come in from behind them.
Yeah, I hate to say it, though, at this point, Connor, it might be better for him to save, as it looks all but over.
Yep,
Not even.
There she is. 15 rounds for Superjymy. 5 left to go. Gambit, damn, man. On that first half, I thought they had it. But remember, of course, we've had Superjymy pick up both pistols and convert for full. And that's always a huge advantage before you get into your gun rounds. The fact this T side's been so explosive, they've trade fragged successfully. Gambit had their shot. They blew it.
And going into this round, I'd like to see some deep smokes coming in from the Superjymy side. However, look at this plow from Gambit. Ooh, and Mo's gonna get away with that kill. 15 HP left on him, and the Mag 7 going for the repeat because Seized is gonna get caught. And that hurts right there as a 5v4 instantly turned back into a 4v4 as Unez evens it up, and now we see that IV presence being put down by Superjymy and the aggressive play by Dosia towards that middle.
Very little utility left for the CTs. We've seen Superjymy play down time multiple rounds, so no surprise they're doing that yet again. They'll eventually group themselves back up and commit to the bomb site, looking to close this at 16-10.
Hate to say it, Mo by himself on this inner bomb site. Okay, we do have Dosia rotating in now. Smoke hitting towards that lower bomb site, and I kind of like this setup from Gambit here. They're giving up the Ivy, they're giving up the middle, they're playing more towards that passive area. And that's going to allow them to double up inside now, and that's exactly where Superjymy hopes to hit.
To the utility going over. You see Gambit coming as well. Could arrive in time. They start to bottle up on top of the B site, and that does cost them. Into the 2v2 we go. Hobbit trying to charge forward, hits himself the headshot. It's all on Arvid. He's got 2 CTs to take. Gets himself a bit of positioning here and creeps his way around. Doesn't check beneath him. Man's up close. Ooh. And Hobbit's got him dead to rights. Gambit are still in this, but just barely.
Yeah, and this is the issue I'm talking about, right? They're able to win the round. What's the money that's going to show up on in their pockets right now? The highest person with 4.4. So Hobbit will drop a gun to Seize. That's going to happen no matter what here. But the issue becomes, what utility do we have? Do we have the Molotovs we need? Do we have it? Do we have the nades? Do we have the flashes? Do we have kits? Let's see what happens here. Okay, so we do see utility on 3 people. But 3 out of 5, that's a little rough when you're trying to stay off that match lost.
Hobbit falling away from Ivy. Wants nothing to do with this early gunfight.
Up on Zori, too. Ariel's been doing a great job towards that ladder of creating presence, and because of that, we actually see Gambit go for the retake. That's going to give Ariel info that, hey, they're playing a little bit aggressive towards ladder now, as Dosia did flash retake it, and that's going to allow the Ivy guys now to create their presence and push up a little bit.
Creeping and crawling their way through Ivy.
Watch Mo here in middle.
This could be a big play from him. Especially with nobody to come out ladder, right? So he's not going to get blindsided, and the players behind him on Ivy shouldn't be able to get too much of an angle. But Arvid does drop Hobbit. Oh, and Ariel denies that opportunity. So the CTs begin to fumble. The defense begins to fall, but there's still enough of it to double back here. Doja inside the ladder room fires versus Zori. So at least he's been seen. The T's, they know.
Well, yeah, they actually knew prior. They were smoking him off. They were watching it the entire time. 7 seconds left. The bomb is going to go down now. And I hate to say it, but Gambit, 4v2, no utility, and C's going down to Zori. He's going to leave Dosia in a very hard spot as everybody's looking at him.
8 and 22, and he dies instantly. A tough match for him specifically, and a tough night for Gambit. 0-2 in their games versus Spirit and Superjymy. Of course, Virtus Pro The Legends themselves were able to close out on Mirage in the 30th round. So we had ourselves some back and forth games, Evan, some very close ones. But ultimately, that's the tail of the tape. 0-2 for Gambit. Bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected it. Maybe the first match, just because of the way Spirit were playing, yeah, you couldn't really see Gambit coming back. But in this game,